Welcome mates, I'm BloodThirstyLord, by incoming Lordy, and today we're back on a new game, and that is the Callisto Protocol. This game is amazing and you should be excited for it. There's combat from melee to range alongside gory, kill animations and death scenes that happen with your character Jacob Lee, the protagonist of the game, as you experience the planet of Callisto against this new threat. Is it essentially Necromorphs 2.0? We'll find out. Reminiscent of other games like Dead Space, the trilogy from the Dead Space 1, 2, and 3, done by Visceral Games. Some of the original developers of Dead Space are working on this title as well, so this should be quite crazy. If you're a big fan of Dead Space, you're going to be a bigger fan of the Callisto Protocol, no doubt there. But we've got a lot of juicy details to talk about in this video, so you mates do not want to miss out. Make sure to click the subscribe button and also the bell notification button with all notifications on to keep up to date, and also press that join button to become a member on the channel. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. Callisto Protocol is a new original survivor horror game set in the third-person perspective, set in the year of 2320, so in the future, so sci-fi is at its peak to say the least here, alongside being set on the planet, or the moon, Callisto, being the Jupiter's dead moon. And the protagonist you'll be playing is Jacob Lee, a cargo pilot, versus mutating humans. And as you're going through your experience of Black Iron, which is a prison, as you're inmate of that prison at the current point, at that dead moon, you're going through this, completing missions, destroying mutating humans that are also inmates in that same prison, discovering mysteries on the way as well, to truly understand and uncover what's happening on Callisto and why this is all occurring. So great background information on what's occurring in Callisto, and we'll discover more as we go throughout this video. Alongside this is a long-awaited game for myself. I've been waiting for this game for such a long time, and it's getting very, very close to release, and I can't wait to jump into the action, as it's one of my most anticipated games of the end of this year, as it highlights action and horror like no other has done before, compared to Dead Space being the original series, Dead Space 1 and 2. 3 kind of fell off, we all know that. I played the trilogy recently again on the channel. If you want to check out a playthrough playing on the hardest difficulties, you can do so. There'll be playlists on screen, make sure to visit that in order to enjoy that goodness of that walkthrough. But Callisto Protocol does follow those same steps due to the fact that the developers of the original Dead Space are working on this as well, which makes it quite promising for a fan like myself to see Visceral Games back in action through a new format, a new development team being striking distance. And this might be the chance for them to revisit what occurred in Dead Space 3, may have some Easter eggs in Callisto Protocol connecting to that, as that was pretty much a colossal failure to a certain degree to majority of fans that were expecting a very great ending to Dead Space, and then we got that game. It wasn't a bad game, but compared to Dead Space 1 and 2, obviously Dead Space 1 and 2 rank higher than Dead Space 3, so in that case, this could be a way to pretty much fix that issue that occurred and make a better game through the Callisto Protocol and starting that franchise or this one installment of the game. But Dead Space 3 co-op was kind of fun, we can't lie about that. And in majority of cases, when there's ever alien threat or mutations or testing of subjects to a certain degree, there's always a corporation behind it. And it's not Weyland-Yutani. In this case, we have the United Jupiter Company as they reign supreme in the Callisto Protocol, and then pretty much having their presence continuously through Black Iron, the prison in the game. And due to the presence of this company, that could be the reason why we have inmates transforming into monsters and mutating into these monsters, as it does seem like to be the perfect example of a closed experiment of testing subjects without other people knowing, since it's based on a dead moon and a prison. Maybe nobody cares about it, and the company has full reign over that aspect there and controlling all elements of the prison. And the combat in this game is obviously based on third-person survival, so you'll be using melee combat as the main form of actions, but alongside that, range combat. But with that, you would have limited bullets like Dead Space. Don't expect to have 100 bullets to be able to shoot them constantly and do one shot to every creature or every monster you do encounter. In this case, it won't be used for that. Just pretty much destroying limbs to slow down enemies is the best use of this ammo, but majority of the kills that you'll be going for will be in melee or using environmental aspects to your advantage. And as you're playing Jacob Lee, you'll be able to collect weapons from the prison throughout the map, so scavenging for items as you go. There'll be several enemy types that you do encounter, being robotic prison guards, mutations of humans, and then also tough enemies like Necromorphs that'll be able to distort and do some crazy stuff in the game, so unique animations, unique encounters will occur when playing Callisto Protocol. And then using certain combos in order to kill a certain enemy. So if you play God of War Ragnarok, you would use certain weapons to kill a certain enemy or faction, and then other weapons to kill another. It could be basically through elemental aspects, but in this case, it might be a weapon can't hit a certain character due to its skin, or its toughness on the character, or the way it dodges. So we'll find it as we go. this seems to be very fun and interesting mechanic in the game. There'll be other human characters and NPCs that you'll be talking to, so it won't be all on Isaac's head as he talks to his missus continuously. That won't happen here. You'll be able to actually meet other characters in the game, help them out, and they seem to be members of a resistance group to get down to the bottom of what is occurring here as well, because they're trying to uncover the truth about this company. And you'll find out more about the lore as you go throughout the game, but the most important part of the lore will come through audio logs, so to not disrupt the gameplay experience and the immersion of the horror experience and survival aspects of the Callisto protocol. And there'll also be jump scares. These jump scares have been balanced in a certain way due to timing, so you won't be able to expect them at some points, and other times you expect them a lot, and then other times you won't expect them at all, but the tension will be building up for a jump scare that doesn't happen, and then a jump scare immediately happens after that. So the timing of all these jump scares to keep the horror on the edge of your seat continuously is there, and I can't wait to witness it. Hopefully it's quite fun, and I do want to encounter these crazy fights that can occur while being first scared to death and then trying to fight for my survival against these creatures and these opponents, these new monsters in Callisto Protocol. It's gonna be exciting as hell. The game does run on 60 frames in performance mode with haptic feedback on the controller as you pretty much bonk them with a pipe across the head and try to kill them as quickly as possible. And to help with that immersion of the jump scares and the horror, they also have no map, so don't expect to have a map in the gameplay. There isn't one, so you have to pretty much remember layouts, understand how to get through point A to point B, and be able to get there in the safest way possible, because if you go off track, I'm guessing you're gonna get caught by some creatures and monsters continuously, so watch out for that. And there seems to be discussions of DLC already being based on a season pass, providing cosmetics, 3 skins being Outer Way, Watchtower, and Engineer skins, that's from the collection, and a new mode being Contingent, which essentially is fewer health drops and reduced ammo, and a Riot Wave base mode as well, where you use credit to upgrade your weapons and survive as long as possible against the threat, and even future story DLC, and new death animations for those game modes too. So there'll be more death animations added into the game for these selected game modes, which is kind of interesting because people want to see themselves die in the game in a unique ways continuously. Very interesting to see. And Callisto Protocol will be releasing on December 2nd on last gen, current gen, and PC. And I think the starting price is around $60 US on PC and last gen, and $70 on current gen. The game is also not available in Japan, so anyone that pre-ordered the game in Japan, they should be issuing refunds at this current time, but the game doesn't have the right criteria to be able to pass the rating system in Japan. I'm guessing that's because of the gore and the violence that is implemented in this game, and I can't wait to play that. That's something I look for in games. If it's got violence, gore, I'll play it. Evil West is one of those games most recently. Dead Space, obviously that's a game that comes to my mind, and I enjoy these type of games. They feel old school, and I'm glad to see that happen in Callisto Protocol. Sadly, they missed that market, but at the same point, I'm guessing that's going to bring in more sales for the game in all other states and countries. And that is why Callisto Protocol is amazing, and you should be excited for it. So mate, tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to know. Are you excited for this game? Do you want to see more coverage on Callisto Protocol before the day of release, and also after release? Tell us in the comment section down below, because I feel like this game is going to be quite fun, and most likely will be one of my top 5 games of this year. Show that support by leaving a like on the video and hitting that subscribe button to keep up to date with that content and having notifications on to assist with that. And join our Discord where we have discussions about games and just have fun overall. Link in the description below. Make sure to join that. As always, mates, it's a pleasure to have you guys on the channel as we go through this, and I'll catch you, mates, next time. Bye. Road to 200k subscribers. Let's get it, mates.